Well, Danny, thanks for joining us on the show once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, we've discussed the Apollo before on this show, but maybe for listeners who might not be aware, could you tell us a bit about what Apollo is and maybe particularly get into the image recognition component of it?
Sure. The Apollo IP, we actually consider one of our major IPs, intellectual properties, one of the most advanced ones. The main idea of the Apollo, as we described, in a few videos that we released recently, on the PRs, is its capability of sending electromagnetic waves, i.e. radio waves, to the air, basically, and receive the reflections, from objects, and living entities that it hits and returns, and basically analyze this information and construct what we call a 2D or 3D imaging. We call it Apollo computer vision, a vision system, which is basically it sees. Okay, in a way, it's an eyes, but it can have many, I would say, areas to be implemented in. The main idea is that Apollo scans in front, a certain area. Get the reflections back. The reflections come, of course, I'm not going to go too technical, various of frequencies, various of reflections. This information is fed into neural networks that does, basically is pre-trained and trained as it goes with the patterns and construct, what basically the system sees. The main advantage of such system, it can be used, for example, autonomous vehicles. I can transmit forward or transmit all around the vehicle and identify and map all objects, living entities, anything basically, to a material that an AI will understand what's going on around the vehicle. Because, it basically does it in radio waves, the response time is almost real time. Very quick, very fast, and it's very efficient. Another, for example, application can be even look inside the human body. The system can be used, for example, as a computer vision system to be used outside of the body, but non-invasive. Look into veins, find clogs, just by the reflection and identification of different materials inside the vein, we can provide a lot of vital health-related information that can virtually and literally basically save life. So there's a whole wide range of applications that Apollo technology can be used. That we talked about sleeping sleeping alert of drivers, even intruders alert. In a warehouse or anywhere, it detects a change of volume. Or new object in the area, then it can alert about this. So there is a vast amount of information and application can be used, and we are looking into some of them, and hopefully with time we find a few optimal ones.
Now, another feature of Apollo that's been outlined is its blockchain-based cybersecurity. Could you talk a bit about that?
Yes, of course. Like with every radio system and network, one of the things we actually are proud of is Apollo networking. Apollo's network system, is robust, has radio network, has also communication with the AI network, connection with the server, so has a few types of networks. These naturally, by definition, are vulnerable to basically hacking or data theft or people can try to at least get information, if it's the information about the scanned area, if it's other type of information. And the Apollo system basically is designed to be used a few types of cybersecurity mechanism. One of them is blockchain. Blockchain, as we all know, it's a very efficient data preservation or data cybersecurity system to ensure privacy, security, and data to be handled in a safe way. We are not only going to implement blockchain within Apollo. We actually plan to do a few others. On top of this, we'll have a few security mechanism within the radio transmission and the analysis. AI also has its own vulnerability, especially if it's on network. So we're going to implement there also a known, basically cybersecurity mechanisms. So we're going to definitely try to maintain Apollo a highly secured system, because again, it's like any type of system of this nature, it does have potential vulnerabilities which we will eliminate.
Which of the domains you've mentioned that Apollo can be applied to, do you think, for you, do you think is the most exciting one?
Yeah, we're actually very excited about the autonomous vehicles, smart cities. Apollo can actually be an amazing system to do many things in this domain. Vehicles is one of the most exciting ones because it's going to become more and more popular. What we call the automatic driving mode, Apollo can play there a major role, but basically scan all around the vehicle, provide information in real time into the AI and the computer, so the vehicle and the people can know what's going on. So yeah, autonomous vehicle is one of the most exciting ones. Another one is actually the health domain. Apollo can be basically put in a little box like a router in the middle of a room and detect, people and watch, I would say, people in the room. It can watch a person, a few people in a whole building if you just put extenders to extend the range. It can watch for people fall, it can watch for heart rate, it can watch for human vitals completely wirelessly. So this is, you no need to wear any wearables or anything. It's another exciting domain that we are very excited about it. So we have a few arenas that Apollo can be implemented, and I guess it's always a tricky part, which direction to go. Well, naturally, we want to try to go in a direction that's going to be efficient, beneficial for the users, and also commercialize good for us.
All right, Danny. Anything else you want to add about the Apollo before we wrap up?
No, I believe Apollo is one of our major IPs, and we got actually a patent granted for it, and we filed a continuation for it. We plan to definitely continue investigating and research into this domain, and hope to reach more inventions in this area in the near future.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for joining us on the show, Danny. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Same here.